Hello, welcome to a Divine Masculine reading. I'm happy to be here to do it for you. I hope you guys are having a good week. And I hope that everything's going well in your journey with your Divine Masculine. You guys are all here because you want to have a little peek into what's going on in your Divine Masculine's life. Most likely because you are in some kind of a separation phase with your Divine Masculine. This happens early on when you're very first with your Divine Masculine after a what is sometimes termed as bubble love phase. Ooh, goodness. Well, we will use this card here because it jumped out at us. So yeah, you guys are in probably some type of a separation phase. That can mean a lot of different things. Sometimes you can be in a separation phase with your Divine Masculine for a long period of time without seeing them. Sometimes it can be kind of a back and forth thing where you're seeing them, sometimes, and then other times you're not. The bubble love phase typically lasts for most people around 2 to 3 months, give or take a little. Some people, though, can have, a longer period of time. There is no specific way that this has to play out for you and your Divine Masculine. Every single person's journey with their Divine Masculine is very different. So be very open-minded to your journey, okay? It is specifically designed and tailor-made for you by the universe, by the divine. So you want to trust it. Trust your journey. It's not always easy to do. I understand that, but it is very much tailor-made for you and your Divine Masculine to help you in your ascension process, your awakening. That's what it triggers. When you go into the dark night of the soul, that is an initiation, okay? It really, truly is an initiation into your awakening. So treat it with that. Treat it as a reverence. Your mind's going to come with all kinds of garbage and a whole lot of negativity. Notice it, but don't give in to it, okay? Start paying attention to the things that your mind says to you as an observer. Kind of pull back and disidentify with the things that the mind is saying to you, and instead start observing it, because it's your time to awaken and master over the mind as the soul. All right, so at the bottom of the deck today, we have the Fool in reverse, which means that there are some things going on in your relationship with your Divine Masculine that were not expected or anticipated. You and your Divine Masculine were maybe kind of unprepared for what was to come. So your numerology is 4 and 2, 24, 42, or 6 is your numbers today. Things did not go as planned. Things didn't happen the way that you and your Divine Masculine expected. There is some feelings of, maybe that things were handled in a way where both of you felt it was a little bit careless. Maybe you feel that your Divine Masculine was careless toward you, or maybe, it's mutual or vice versa. But there's definitely some unexpected things that you were both unprepared for. So keep that in mind as we go through this reading. So this first card is your energy, Divine Feminine. And for this, we are dealing with 3 of Cups in reverse. Your energy is that I think you must be feeling like you're somehow mixed up in something. It could be with your Divine Masculine. It could be with a group of friends. It could be family members. Somehow you feel very, very misunderstood. that you do not feel that you're being seen clearly for who you truly are, and for what your real and true intentions are. There's a lot of things that are being said that you don't resonate with, you feel are inaccuracies, that you're really maybe not quite sure how to approach or resolve. It seems like it's kind of one of those things where the more you try to say, no, that's not how I really feel, or, that you try to maybe defend your position, the more you reaffirm exactly what it is that you're trying to like reverse or change. So I think taking a step back and just knowing who you are, you don't need to prove that. It could be that you're feeling some feelings of maybe fear of being misunderstood. Like maybe you're actually not being misunderstood, but there's a deep-seated fear that you won't be understood, or seen clearly. And I suspect a lot of that has to do with your divine masculine. Again, it could be people outside too, like maybe whatever it is you're going through with your divine masculine, as you've tried to talk to other people about it, maybe you're feeling a little bit like they're not understanding, or they're kind of talking about you behind your back. Or maybe you're afraid to talk to people because you're afraid they will talk behind your back. It can kind of branch out into these different areas. So kind of take a look, and at least the energy that you seem to be experiencing is one of feeling that you're not understood. There's a fear of being understood, and maybe a fear of talking and sharing and opening up and being your true authentic self with everyone. This next card is a representation of your divine masculine's energy. And for this, we have 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So your divine masculine is probably a bit of a workaholic. They definitely have a lot of jealousy. They seem to have a lot of fear and worry and concern about what other people think of them as well. But it comes more from a place of maybe being envious of what other people have and trying to, keep up with the Joneses or appear a certain way, as far as status and, you know, how they're received by other people is extremely important to them. How other people view and perceive them is very important to them. They want to, they really want to show a persona of being really put together, very successful, maybe even wealthy, or at least on the road to wealth. Materialism may be something that is really highly focused on by your divine masculine, to the point where they judge others based upon that, and are definitely not being true to themselves and living from a place of authenticity. Even if they have a lot of wealth and they're not being inauthentic about that, they're using that as a mask to cover up insecurities or other aspects about themselves that they don't feel good about. So they're saying like, well, look, I have all this stuff and I'm this cool person and I have all these things and all these successes and blah, 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 blah. But underneath it all, they're actually quite insecure about who they are. And that's having a pretty profound effect on relationships for them, as well as their ability to be able to connect and feel connected to. And anytime you're coming from a place of inauthenticity, you can't truly connect with others. There's no real vulnerability and no real intimacy. So this next card is the relationship between the two of you. For this, we have Ace of Swords. There's definitely some conflict there between the two of you. You guys have experienced conflict between you as far as how you view and perceive things with each other. But for the most part, you guys seem to get each other. Like, you guys can see beyond what other people can see about the other. And there is a sense of relief between the two of you that you actually can see each other. Like, the fact that both of you have somewhat of a similar worry, albeit it's coming from very different places, there's this insecurity about being accepted for who you really are, where that you feel like this person kind of sees you for who you really are. Interestingly, even though you both feel that way, which was the initial attraction, like, wow, this person gets me, after a period of time, the fear of those root fears, those base fears that have existed long before the two of you met, crept back in. And I think a lot of projecting started to take place, where you were projecting some of those fears onto each other. You were definitely triggering each other a lot when it came to these things, because that's what twin flames do. They trigger each other to see those fears and those insecurities and things like that, so that they can be transmuted and overcome. But in order for them to be transmuted and overcome, they kind of have to come to the surface. And that's not always the most pleasant experience, which is where separation can sometimes take place with twin flames. And that's okay, because that gives you guys a period of time to be able to kind of work through those things separately. But there's definitely a strong bond and connection between the two of you. Of course there is. You guys are twin flames, right? Like, that's just part of the, or you could say par for the course with twin flames, right? That's inevitable with the two of you. And you can definitely rely on that. Even if things seem chaotic and crazy between the two of you, you can rely on the fact that you guys are twin flames. So no matter what's happening in the 3D world, separation isn't a real thing, okay? That can be very, very confusing for people who are just embarking on this journey with their twin flame, and they absolutely feel separated from them. They'll keep hearing over and over again, well, separation is just an illusion. And that can be very frustrating when you're early on your journey. So if you guys have questions about that, please feel free to, ask in the comments section below, or even reach out to us through email, or, even with like a one-on-one or something. And we do have group calls as well. So if you guys are interested in talking with us and getting some help, all that information is always available in the description box below. And also, if you guys could give me likes and subscribes, I really appreciate that as well. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the advice, okay? So 10 of Swords in reverse. This is advice from Source for you guys that specific to your relationship. Forgiveness is extremely important. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. Ramblin' Mike, who is one of my favorite tarot readers, is the one that I heard that from originally. And I just resonated with it a lot. It taught me a deep lesson. That message came to me at the right time on my spiritual journey to help me understand what that meant. And I realized that it was multi-leveled. Forgiveness is for other people, but really it's about you. And if you're carrying around anger, frustration, hatred, even, a chip on your shoulder, nobody suffers from that except for you, right? The person that is your enemy doesn't suffer from your hatred. You suffer from your hatred. You're drinking your own poison when you walk around like that. So the forgiveness is for you, so that you don't have to walk around burdened, because that's how people that hurt you, they can still continue to hurt you from a distance, right? But it's really a choice, Forgiveness also doesn't mean condoning the behavior, okay? To forgive someone doesn't mean you condone what they did, but instead it's to recognize that, it was done from a place of ignorance. It was done from a place of an unhealed aspect of themselves that they must have needed to see. So it's not forgiveness for the act itself. And you don't even have to tell them that you forgive them. It's really more about forgiveness of yourself for knowing and recognizing that you placed yourself in a situation, or you didn't see something coming, or didn't realize that something was happening. Oftentimes, the biggest issues that we have with being hurt by other people is an inward anger at ourselves for not knowing better, or for not seeing it in the first place. Like in a relationship with someone that cheats on you, the biggest pain isn't it is the betrayal, but the betrayal is overshadowed by sometimes like a feeling of anger toward ourselves. Like how did we not see this coming? Or why am I not good enough? Why am I not smart enough? Why am I not pretty enough or handsome enough? Or, like, what did I do wrong to deserve to be treated this way? And the truth is you didn't do anything wrong. This was a problem with them to begin with. It actually doesn't have anything to do with you. It's them that has the issue. It's them that doesn't know how to be loyal. It's them that has some kind of problem or unhealed wound, or who knows what, like just a wrong way of thinking or a lack of respect, that needs to be looked at and addressed. You were the unknowing victim in it, okay? But you can either choose to live from a place of being a victim, or you can choose to be the hero in your own journey, right? Which is what your spiritual awakening and everything is teaching you, is that you are the hero in your own journey. You are the fool in the journey, right? The hero's journey. The tarot card even represents the hero's journey. It's a beautiful thing. So forgiveness, is for others, but it's also for yourself. Forgiving yourself for not knowing better, or for needing to learn the lesson, whatever it is. Forgiveness is also sometimes needed in the twin flame journey. We can feel very hurt by our divine masculines, by their behavior. But forgiveness is so incredibly important, so that we are not walking around in anger or judgment, so that we can heal ourselves and start focusing on ourselves, and maybe even forgiving ourselves for whatever we feel was our fault and our blame in it. We had to learn the lessons, so we can change that to gratitude, being grateful for the lesson that whatever the situation was gave us, whatever harm came to us, either by our divine masculine or anyone, we can instead say, you know what, I choose to learn something from that, to become wiser, to become stronger, to become better. And that is transmutation. Okay, so a source's advice to you is to use everything that's happening in your journey with your divine masculine as an opportunity for transmutation, self-growth, to see who you really are, how you think about things. Be the observer and the witness of yourself. Forgive yourself along the way, and forgive others as needed. And always wish healing on your enemy rather than curses, because if we wish curses on our enemy, then they're just going to be unhealed people that hurt people, right? Because hurt people hurt people. But if we wish healing on our enemy, then our enemy heals. And if we have healed people all around us, then we don't have enemies, because healed people don't act in unhealed, destructive ways. So that is the advice from Source. Look within yourself. Do you have any of that destructive behavior within you that needs to be addressed and overcome, alchemized, transmuted, etc.? All right, so here's the possible outcome for you and your divine masculine in the near future. We have Ace of Wands. Now, again, this is not set in stone. This is just possible outcome for you and your divine masculine in the near future. What you can expect if energies and situations continue. You, again, are an active creator in your reality. So things can always be changed through alchemy. Again, these are things that we can help you to learn, understand, and coach you about along the way, so that you can create the life that you would really like to experience. Okay, so we have a new kind of adventure that is brewing for you and your divine masculine. Things are leading up to it a certain way. The foundation has already been laid. You and your divine masculine have been a massive inspiration for each other, for self-growth and propelling you toward a better future by first knowing yourselves. You teach each other so much. You're mirrors of each other, undoubtedly. And when you start to look at it that way and you start to see the relationship for what it is, which is just self-growth. I mean, at the core of all of this, you are one, right? You are a soul, and you and your twin flame are one at the level of the soul. So it's, of course, all about becoming the best version of yourself. It's all about self-growth. That's why you meet your twin flame. Why else would you meet yourself in another physical form but for self-growth and continued balancing and harmony? And so that's what the universe is leading you toward. It's inevitable. You really can't mess it up. Okay, your mind will try to tell you that you can and tell you that you're doing a lot of things wrong. That's the part that you have to watch the mind, okay? And sometimes you have to tell it no. Sometimes you have to break old patterns and find new ways to, replace that programming. So I'm going to get you guys a oracle card today. We're going to use my Sacred Geometry Oracle deck. Let me pull it out here. And again, if you guys like this reading, thank you so much for supporting the channel, first of all. And please hit the like and subscribe and share it with anyone that you think might find it to be of value as well. We really appreciate the support from the community more than you guys know. We love you guys. We know what you guys are going through, at least to a degree, because we've all been on this journey for most of us for quite a while now and have learned a tremendous amount. And our group is all about honesty. There's a lot of dishonesty, unfortunately, in the twin flame community. I've witnessed it and seen it, especially amongst teachers. And the conduits is not about that. Just so you guys are aware, not about that at all. We do offer help and we do offer services, but this is about you and your journey, and it is completely unique to you. There's not a specific, this is spiritual stuff, okay? It's spiritual stuff, and that's different for everyone, right? Because the universe morphs, changes the kaleidoscope around you, which is why your journey cannot be figured out through other people. It has to be figured out through you. All right, 396 Hertz. Liberate guilt and fear. Interesting. Let me get this here in our book. We're going to read a little bit about it. 369 is Tesla's numbers, right? He says, if you only understood the power of the 369, you would have the keys to the universe. So this is about frequency here. Let me see. 396. All right. And I think we kind of saw, okay, I think I can see why the universe brought this card to you with things that we were talking about in this reading. So let's read it, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. I release all guilt and fear from my cellular memory now. Are you ready to unshackle emotions that are holding you back and creating a block in your path to moving on? When this card shows itself, it is telling you it is time to release the fear and guilt that you feel within your life. Guilt is a wasted emotion. That is energy in motion that is not serving us. It is time to turn grief into joy and liberate yourself from guilt and fear. One thing I'd like to point out is I agree with what this is saying, that it doesn't serve us and it is wasted. However, nothing is, that's the duality of it. To take it back a little bit further, nothing is actually wasted, because even though it is like guilt and fear are a part of the human experience that we don't necessarily want to feed, right? Or nourish through giving it our attention and our energy. It still serves in teaching us. So in the sense of of us learning what we do and don't want, so that we can create the life that we want, and the universe gives us what we need in order to create what we want. Guilt and fear and things like that can serve a purpose, which is why they are part of duality, in teaching us what we don't want. And sometimes knowing what we don't want is just as important as knowing what we do want, because it helps us to refine ourselves of where we really do want to direct our energy, right? If we make a mistake, we learn that we don't ever want to send our attention and our energy in that direction ever again. And that does actually serve us. So part of liberating ourselves from guilt and fear is recognizing that guilt and fear do serve a valuable purpose, yet at the same time, we don't want to hold on to it and live through that, okay? We don't want to get stuck in that place. So by using certain sounds and frequencies, we are able to enhance our senses and create a deeper connection to spirit. Every sound has a different vibration. Solfeggio frequency 396 hertz carries the sound and vibration of ut. Ut can help release you from feelings of guilt and fear by allowing you to gently bring down the walls holding you to these emotions. As your defenses drop, this frequency can help to remove the blockages that are stopping you from bringing some harmony and joy and happiness into your life, and to ground them into your reality. I think I need to turn the page here. Hold on. To be able to master and live out our truths on our own personal journeys to self-fulfillment and discovery, we need to do so with an open heart and open mind. Know in life that obstacles are thrown on our path, as this is how we learn and recognize that what needs to change or be done differently, so we know for next time. I believe that every crisis is a gift. Are you ready to discover the gift that awaits? Through meditation, or when you are in bed or even sitting in a quiet space, focus on this sound. Repeat it over and over while focusing on your intention of what you want to release and bring about for yourself. Repeat the words, I release all guilt and fear from my cellular memory now. Work with the color red when using this frequency. Card numerology is 9. And crystal suggestions for this are smoky shadow healers, aquamarine, rose quartz, and pink tourmaline. For those of you that love your crystals. I think they came back and kind of touched on that. So this is the sound. And I'm sure you guys could look some things up online. If this resonates with you a lot, you guys can look up the frequency online. A lot of really wonderful YouTubers have a lot of these frequencies on, long repetitive loops, so you can even listen to them while you're sleeping. And so when you find one that you need, these everything is energy, everything is vibration. Okay, even in the 369, Tesla talks about everything is vibration and frequency. And so these things can be very healing. So if you resonate with this, I suggest looking it up and listening to it, maybe even tonight, even while you're sleeping. And let go of guilt, let go of fear. Forgiveness is part of that. It's okay to be in your power and in your strength. You don't need to be in a place of feeling weak. Unfortunately, we don't always realize it, but sometimes our weakness is something that we are consensually giving. And if we realize that, then we can overcome that and we can stand in our power. And you deserve that. Love you, Divine Feminine. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.